Good evening and welcome back to Be Rich. Vinod is here with me today, and we wanted to discuss the outsized profits that TSMC has made. TSMC, the last quarter, has made a 31% gain. This is the third quarter according to them, the fourth quarter, October, November, December is on. TSMC is a company which, if we give you the design, will manufacture the chip as per your request
Yes.
specs. And it is makes one of the thinnest microprocessors possible, and Intel is the other competitor is not yet ready to catch up with it. TSMC has been in the news for promising not to supply to China, though it's a Taiwanese based company and it is opening more centers in America to please Donald Trump. It is not a surprise that TSMC is doing so well because with the AI demand coming in, a lot of people buying chips and Donald Trump telling people that they have to invest. All of them promising investing in data farms for which chips are being manufactured left, right, and center. And TSMC being the biggest supplier of them all, no wonder the results are doing well. But in my opinion, the news has been already discounted, and the value of TSMC is far higher than the nominal mid value. So to talk about it, me and my brother are here.
Now, after the recent bump they've got in earnings, price to earnings stands at around 26. So, I still think TMC,
Is
all
that
said done. Like you always say, don't go after the gold diggers, go after the guys who are shuffling this picks and axes and the Levi's jeans. I think these guys are one of the Levi's jeans.
yes, these along with the ASML are some of the virgins. ASML is a Dutch company that supplies equipment to these companies.
Yeah,
But since we first considered them, this price has run up quite a bit.
correct.
This is why I am nervous about TSMC. But the point remains that when you compare with Indian companies, this company has delivered 31% earnings growth.
This is actual earnings.
This is
It's not even
actual,
like OpenAI earnings,
this is not OpenAI earnings, this is actual earnings.
not forward earnings,
Not
backward
forward,
earnings.
no forward, backward earnings. This looks cheap. But you should contrast it with Indian companies which are at 60, a company of this size would be at 60 to 70 times earnings. So this is cheap comparatively to other stocks. So I did buy this a long time back. I'm up more than 100%, so I'm thinking of buying it.
My only fear in this whole segment is government meddling in all of this, because these companies are not allowed to operate independently as a business because of the geopolitical situation. Recently also we read about a Dutch taking over a Chinese company
Yeah.
which is manufacturing chips. That's another issue. But just the action that the government can just step in and swallow something like this, it does, as an investor, sow some seeds of fear, because these companies are global companies, but countries where they're present in can move in and act in any shape or form they feel like.
I think they have already got protection going in the Taiwan factory. Where if the Chinese invade and take over the factory will be rendered useless.
Correct.
But for me, the original thing is China has become so confident it has now says it doesn't need the NVIDIA chips. They can perform the same LLM model with lower end chips. So I don't think by keeping China off TSMC, we are going to change much.
No, but this is a very critical supply chain for global chips. So, like what Americans did to Iran for the nuclear factory, the Chinese can walk in and give it a wallop and just say sorry. And it will take a long time to reconstruct something like this.
No, they say they can manage without the Taiwanese production. That is why to de-risk they have opened a big facility in America.
That facility hasn't gone into full-fledged production
It
as
has
a
not. Yes, it has not gone into full-fledged production, and Intel does not make the same
correct
wafer thin chips. So in the transit for the next 1 year, if China captures Taiwan, this could potentially lead to a problem in TSMC.
Correct. And global supply of these chips. And another issue is the raw materials for these chips which are required. This high-grade silica is only there in the US. US is the major producer of this
High-grade silica.
high-grade silica. They are sitting on that stockpile, while the Chinese have leveraged the rare earth and they are sitting on a stockpile. in the middle of all this tussle between the Chinese and the Americans, we as investors, I fear, are going to get,
But you should be able to take the risk. Since we are talking about US and stocks, like recently you would have seen that LG, which sold 15% of its stock, has managed to take more than $2 billion home. But if you look at the original LG stock, it's only at 9 times earnings.
yes, back at home.
Back at home, that's about roughly 2,500 rupees.
Yes.
Plus a 2.75% dividend.
Yeah.
So basically, I get a 50 rupee dividend. And the Korean won priced original at 2,500 rupees, which is only 750 rupees more than the Indian version.
Correct.
I get to own 85% of India plus LG totally at that price at the Korean Stock Exchange. So you imagine when people say TSMC is overpriced, they compare it with companies like Sony, or they compare it with people like this company, LG.
Yeah, LG.
Now, Lucky Gold Star. So LG is at such a low price, and TSMC is at 3 times valuation. It's only because the AI boom of the news of the AI boom and the chip sales related to that.
Because
You have to be ready in case when the AI boom conflicts, collapses and comes down, then this stock will come down to reality. So this will come down by at least 40 to 50%. And if you are not willing to take a 50% drawdown, in case there's a collapse in AI demand, the price of TMC could go down to 50% even more.
Okay.
So with that, you are comfortable to take a 60% loss, temporary loss in your portfolio, if the negative event comes through. You have to finally project basically what we are only projecting the positive side.
Yeah.
The negative side is if mainland Taiwan is attacked, TMC is dead.
Yes.
Though they say now they have better plans coming up in the rest of the world.
Correct.
And maybe know-how is protected. But
it's just not a question of know-how, no, and because you're talking about technicians, you're talking about workers, you're talking about having these skilled people, and you rightly said, just because you build a facility or promise to build a facility in the US doesn't mean you'll have trained workers and you're ready to go online. It'll take time.
So this is exactly what is the problem for the Americans. And the Chinese are in a much better shape. So this is why the Americans don't want these critical chips to go into Chinese hands.
Okay.
So the risk for me in investing in TSMC is twofold. One, if the AI boom collapses, what happens to me? Though it is reasonably priced. And the second, if America interferes, as it has been trying to interfere in TSMC and NVIDIA,
The Chinese might.
the Chinese, and it wants to strike at the Chinese and they want to use this, it is going to be a big problem.
Because this is exactly what the Western countries did to Russia, and which led to what happened to Ukraine.
Yeah.
The NATO expansion,
Exactly.
and all this led up to this.
So if
why Americans going on constantly unnecessarily rattling the Chinese?
But they don't want to. The Americans still think they live in a unipolar world.
Okay.
And they don't want to concede power to China.
Okay.
So the risks are twofold. One, when the AI boom pops, what happens? Second, how much they actually de-risk Taiwan. So if you are able to deal with these risks, of one, it being in Taiwan, and two, it is a flash or a pan. That is, if the AI boom cracks, the stock can come down 60 to 70%.
Okay. Now just pivoting a little bit and adding a little more context to what we were talking about geopolitically and what the Americans are doing and the AI bubble. Is this more reasons why gold is having more of a runaway? Because before we had central bank, we had all these other things, liquidity by the Fed being promised. So are you think investors themselves, retail investors, big investors, high net worth investors, are slowly themselves are pivoting to gold, saying that with so much of uncertainty, it's better to be in gold?
Not because of uncertainty. It also needs is the higher the returns, more people, FOMO sets in, and more people come in.
Okay.
So basically what has happened is China has thrown the gauntlet to America, and China is buying gold. The Russians are buying gold. The other central bankers buying gold. So for 10 months, if a stock asset price continues to go up and doesn't fall on a monthly basis,
Correct. It's
more people are going to get involved. And this is the 10th week. If
Yeah.
it ends positive tonight and tomorrow,
Yes.
it is the 10th week in a row which gold has gone up. It's not only the 10th month in a row, for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That means for 2.5 months, gold has not had a negative week. This is huge.
Correct. And people, I wanted to tell people that gold prices have collapsed in the past. I mean,
Gold prices have collapsed twice in the past in the rupee, in dollar terms. The only thing it has not collapsed big in rupee terms. So it is better to be careful and wait for a correction.
correct. So if you're looking at all these options, it's better to keep yourselves in bonds, I guess, short-term bonds. If you're outside India, US Treasury bills, T-bills, short-term T-bills is probably what we'll be looking at, right? Anand?
Yes, yes.
So keep that in mind.
Thank you for watching Birich. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Do not hit the subscribe button. You will not receive notifications every time we put out a video. Once again, I thank you for your support for Birich.
Thank you.